Hello, everybody. This is George, your 60-year-old ketogenic lifestyle coach from Bridgewater in Somerset, England. And in today's video, we are going to look at some of the language surrounding what we actually do in the ketogenic lifestyle. So I think most of you know that I follow the carnivore lifestyle, which is a meat or animal-based and animal-only diet, which can be meat, it can be eggs, it can be fish, and to a certain extent dairy as well, all come under the title of carnivore. So let's have a look at the word carnivore. What does it mean? Where does it come from? So what we've got to do is we've got to break it down into its two syllables. The first one being carni, and the second one being vor. So carni is Latin or Italian for meat. So basically that is just the meaning of it is meat. And vor comes from the Latin verb vorare, to eat. So somebody who is a vor, omnivore, a carnivore or herbivore is one who eats. So it is basically a prefix and a suffix. So in our case, a carnivore is one who eats meat. It's really very simple. So that describes that. However, there are several ways of looking at carnivores. It's a very grey area. There are some different categories of carnivore. For example, there is the obligate carnivore. An obligate carnivore is generally considered to be the felines, typically the felines, because they cannot synthesize taurine from plants because they lack cysteine or methionine in their systems. Therefore, the only way they can actually get taurine is from eating meat, and therefore they have a pretty much 100% meat diet. Although, as we know, a lot of the synthetic cat foods and dog foods that we buy are synthesized plants, but not very good for animals, and it can often lead to problems such as diabetes in cats and cancer and various other issues as well. So obligate carnivores are obliged to eat meat. That's what it comes down to. They have an obligation to eat meat. Another category is the facultative carnivore. Now, a facultative carnivore can supplement with plants when necessary and can survive but not thrive on a meat-free diet. Now, the reason that we can, or human beings who are probably facultative carnivores, can in fact supplement with plants or can eat plants, is that we can get our taurine by converting it with cysteine and methionine in the liver. We can also convert vitamin A from beta carotene, although that is quite a complex process, and it is far better to actually get our vitamin A from retinol, which is to be found in meat. And also we have the ability to convert linoleic acid into arachidonic acid. So that is what separates the obligate carnivores from the facultative carnivores. So possibly the human beings fit into the facultative carnivore category on account of the fact that we can process plants in our bodies when necessary. Other ways of looking at carnivores is the term hypercarnivore. A hypercarnivore gets more than 70% of its nutrition from meat, and that is because they require taurine, which can also be found in fish, poultry, and dairy, which we've covered in the very beginning of this little lecture that I'm giving. Next one down is the mesocarnivore, who consumes 30 to 70% meat. Pretty much the same definition as an omnivore. Omni meaning all, and vor is one who eats. So basically, omnivore is one who eats everything. And then you have a hypocarnivore, who gets less than 30% of nutrition from meat sources. So that, I think, covers the word carnivore quite nicely. Carni, meat; vor, one who eats. So carnivore, one who eats meat. Another word that we find in this space is ketogenesis. So we'll have a look at that. So a ketone is the derivation of the conversion to ketones from short chain fatty acids, and it is an alternative fuel to glucose in the body. And when we are on a very carbohydrate restricted diet, or we are on a fasting regime, then we go into ketosis. The body goes into ketosis to provide an alternative fuel to the usual one, shall we say, which is glucose. Now, obviously, Genesis means creation, and keto refers to the ketones. Now, I'm going to be controversial here, because I'm going to say that I do not like the term ketovore that we hear quite a lot in our space, on account of the fact that it means one who eats keto, to put themselves into a state of ketogenesis. Now, carnivores do not have the sole bragging rights for the creation of ketones, and you can actually be in a state of ketosis if you do not eat meat, if you eat only plants. You can actually live off plant-based fats, low-carb vegetables, plant-based proteins, low-carb fruits, and dairy alternatives, and still put yourself in the state of ketosis. Therefore, doing that, you are one who is eating keto. Therefore, you are also a ketovore. So, ketovore does not imply that you are a meat eater. It shouldn't do anyway, but it's become an accepted phrase in our vocabulary, which I'm going to have to learn to live with. But as an etymologist, I'm just letting you know that I don't particularly like it very much. It's not one which I would choose to use. One thing we can definitely say is that we are all in the low carb and high fat space. Low carb, low carbohydrate just means that we consume very few carbohydrates. Anybody who is consuming fewer than 130 grams of carbohydrate a day is considered low carb. And the high fat refers to the fact that most of us choose to eat 80% or 70 to 80% fat, and the rest is made up of protein, so moderate protein and very few carbohydrates. So we are on the low carb, high fat. We are in the ketogenic and the carnivore space. There is one ultra elimination diet, which is the carnivore, which is called the lion diet, whereby you eat beef, salt, and water only, although you can actually add in ruminant meats alongside the beef, such as lamb or bison or any of the other wild ruminants such as venison. So those are the terms that we will mainly hear in our space. But what we're actually trying to achieve, all of us, is therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. Therapeutic means simply has healing properties, and also it can treat disease. Carbohydrates obviously refers to the macronutrient carbohydrates, and restriction simply means limitation, or to a certain extent elimination. Now, I have treated my own type 2 diabetes and morbid obesity with a program of therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. I have no longer type 2 diabetic, and I'm no longer morbidly obese. So this is a term which I like very much as a catch-all to what we are doing, because most of us are doing it for health reasons. The benefits of eating very good quality food is a sideline. So I like to when I'm talking to people, I like to say that I'm following a routine of therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. It is less kind of emotive than carnivore. It's easier to understand than ketogenesis, and it also refers to the fact that we are low carb and high fat. So that is simply my take on it. So that's really all I want to say today. It's the etymology of the words, and to give us a better understanding of where we actually sit in the world of carnivore stroke omnivore, and the ketogenic lifestyle. So I'll leave that one tonight, today I should say. It's actually Wednesday today, Wednesday the 12th of November 2026, and I will say, eat the meat and feel healthy. Bye for now.